Hello everyone, this is Katie Carney from Katie Carney Stitching, and it is Sunday, May 23rd, and it is 1,000,000,000 degrees in Scranton. It's so hot, and my air conditioning isn't in yet. I got it from the spare bedroom where I sew. We store it in the closet in the winter. I carried it over to my back there bedroom where it's dark and the shade is drawn. But it's very heavy, and our windows are vinyl. I don't recommend vinyl windows. I know they're cheaper, but so anyway, I can't put it in myself. And if I put it in myself, my grandmother would have a stroke. So I need Mark to come over and do that, and he has not had time yet. And since he does not run hot, it could be 500 degrees, and he'd be like, "It's beautiful out." And I'm like, "I'm going to die." So anyway, I have a little fan that I keep, and it blows right on my face, but I had to turn it off. So I turned it off and hit record, and I was like, ugh, hot. But it went from snowing to hot very quickly, which is, we don't usually get much of a spring here. It is what it is. Hi, it's been a month. My life has been absolutely bonkers. So the last time we chatted, I showed you the Shire, which was framed, and I gave it to my dad that day. And he seemed to really like it. And then it was like one weekend with family after another. We went to New Jersey so Fra could meet her new great-grandchild. And then Fra's brother came in, which was wonderful. Hi, Uncle Ted. Hi, Betty. They came in May, the first weekend, Mother's Day weekend. But they weren't here for the weekend. They arrived Wednesday night and left Saturday morning. So I spent time with them on Thursday. I hosted them here for dinner. We had guamki, which are stuffed cabbage. And then Friday, I invited my immediate family, so like my dad, my brother and his wife, my first cousins, my godfather and his wife. My other uncle lives in Texas, so obviously he didn't come, and his children, one of them just had a baby and one of them is a doctor, so they didn't come. And then some of my dad's first cousins were here, and there was only 22 people. But my house, we are just the loudest people in the world. We're so loud. And our ceilings, you can see they're not that high. It was so loud. It was wonderful, though. And then, if you guys remember Fun with Puzzles, I picked up the puzzle from the framer the day of the party. And my cousins came, and they hung it up, and it looks great. Grandmother is beside herself with joy. I don't have a lot of faith in our walls, so every morning I check to make sure it hasn't fallen. So far, so good. But it was a wonderful visit, and it was so good to see my Uncle Ted and to meet his lovely wife, and Fra to be with her brother, and to see family. They all came back on Saturday. My brother moved to Tennessee, so that Saturday we kind of celebrated him leaving. We got Mexican food. I know you're shocked. It's all I eat, apparently. And then the next Saturday, my uncle came to visit that had just been there the weekend before, but he was mad because he didn't have Mexican food, so he wanted to come over and have some. And then my cousin, who's a doctor, came to visit that Tuesday and stayed for 2 nights. Also wanted Mexican food. All of this to say, oh, and I saw friends last weekend. I went to New Jersey with Fra to visit friends who I haven't been able to see much of. I have not been home at all. Or if I have been home, I've been entertaining. I went from not entertaining at all to everybody's here. I told my grandmother, I was like, there will be no family and no friends Memorial Day weekend. I want to turn on my air conditioner and I want to stitch all weekend long. That's it. I haven't had time to sew. I have so much sewing to do. It's been crazy. It's wonderful. It's the best, but it's just been absolutely wild. So much fun seeing family. friends and going out to eat. And man, the CDC lifted that mask mandate and I was like, woohoo, got my Moderna running through my veins. So life is good here. What else is going on? Mark and I worked from home half days Thursday, Friday. It was home on Thursday and Philadelphia on Friday. We went out to Philly together. He had to work. He left for work in the middle of the night. So I was like a starfish in this air-conditioned hotel room. It was awesome. But it was good. It was so hot. We walked to dinner and God bless him, he does not feel the heat. And I have real heat anxiety. Like, it's not good. I have terrible heat anxiety. So we are walking and it's so hot and I'm dehydrated because I haven't had anything to drink because we didn't have it. And he's like running through Philadelphia. It is 90 degrees. I have not eaten since breakfast. It is 6:30 at night. I'm hot and I'm thirsty and he is running. And so then, because I'm anxious, I get mad at him. We finally get to the restaurant and I was like, why didn't you wait for me? And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, I couldn't keep up with you and I'm holding you back. And then I started to cry because I'm like, I'm holding you back. I'm not holding him back. It's 1400 degrees and the man is running through a city. And then I didn't know where we were going to dinner because otherwise I would have just said, go forth, I will meet you there. But he like wanted to surprise me with a new place, blah, blah, blah. So hot, guys. Heat anxiety that causes me to cry. And then I had dinner and I felt, and like 32 ounces of water and I felt great. I don't like this summer. Anyway. Everything is, status quo here. Work's picking up again because conference registration is coming soon. God help us. Things are great. So let's get to stitching. I felt like I really didn't get much done, but I did. So let's look at it. I have one finished object. It is not fully finished. I just finished it yesterday. This is Heartstring Sampler. This is Anne Whitaker, 1827, and this is from her small samplings collection. I bought the kit. I have no regrets about that. I think I will probably get the next one when it comes out. I really like this. I used the called for 28 count thread and floss that it came with. I didn't make any adjustments. So I did, actually, I'm lying to you. She likes a very prim look. So she called for 28 count 1/2 and I did 2/2. I like the coverage of 2/2 on 28, definitely. I did not love this fabric. It is, hold please. Hang on, sorry. All right, it is 28 count Winter's Brew by R&R. I didn't love it. So there she is. I love the colors. It's a lot of pink. Hang on. It's a lot of pink and green, coral. Ironically enough, a lot of the colors, I put the floss in my Consider the Lilies bag because a lot of the colors are the same. So it used Classic Colorworks, Weeks, and 1 DMC. So I really like that. I'm going to turn that into a pillow and put it on my bed. All right. I have to put this back or I will not be able to find it and everyone will be sad. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. So that is my finished object. And then I have a couple of starts and some whips. First off, I was bitten by the knitting bug. I was a knitter long before I was a cross stitcher. I started knitting, I cross stitched and I knit when I was a kid, but like serious knitting when I was about 21 I started. And then I wasn't feeling challenged anymore. I was bored with it, so I really stopped. But one of my favorite designers is Dre Renee Knits. And this, I've done two or three of her sweaters before, and she came out with this. It's called May. And I got an email about it and a discount code, so I grabbed it. I am using a already in stash Woolies. I'm pretty sure it's Woolies. I can't find, there it is. Yeah. So this is Lion Brand Woolies. I love Woolies. It's a it's 80% acrylic with 20% wool. So it's not so heavy that you can't wear it, but there does have that feeling of wool to it, and it's also very affordable. I had this already in stash. I actually had started something else. This is that project, so I'm actually just knitting from that project. And I have a couple inches done. I'm on the short row section, so it's got a really pretty slip stitch pattern to it. So every other row, one is knit, and then the next you knit through the front loop. So it's pretty so far. That's the thing about sweaters, though. There's not really much to see until it becomes a sweater. So stay tuned. Knitting is much easier for me to do on lunch at work, especially if I only have a couple minutes, because I don't have to think about it very hard. So that is May. That was a new start. And I actually brought that with me to Philadelphia, but because Mark was so tired, I drove back and forth. And then when we were in the hotel room, I worked the entire time, other than when I was sleeping. What else do I have here? I worked on, it's May 23rd. It's about time I finally pulled Consider the Lilies out last night. I got it out. It's been sitting on my stand for over a week, and I just haven't had time to work on it. So this is Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Sampler. And I am doing 1 page a month for 24 months, and I am currently on page 5. I am using the called for floss and 36 count R&R Winter's Brew, I'm pretty sure, for this also. Which, it's funny, I don't mind the 36 count. I think the 28 was just too loose for me. So here, like I said, I've really only worked on this. I worked on that last night. I just have this flower here, and then there's a little flower here. I think a small one right here, and this section will be done, and then there's a couple more. And then I think I told you guys I made a mistake in the border. So I'm doing the border last because I'm working from where I know I was right up, and then I will do the border correctly and just fudge it where they meet, or I'll rip out the border, we'll see, so that I'm correct going forward, God willing. Otherwise, I'll be fudging the next 19 pages. So here she is so far. I love this project. I think it's so pretty. And again, that's what I've been working on. It's a great project. It's going to be big and beautiful when it's done. Okay, not going to put that away because I'm going to work on it. Then the reason I just got to Consider the Lilies is because I spent much time working on my Lady of the Flag. I'm not going to get it done by the 4th of July. There's no way. I've just had too much to do. Something just made noise. Sorry, I thought it was a mouse. Not a mouse. Anyway, Lady of the Flag. There are so many stitches in this, and I was like, man, I really haven't stitched that much. And then I counted how many stitches I had put in this in 3 weeks, and it was 5,500. It's a lot of stitches. I am using 32 count Constitution fabric, called for DMC. 30 count, by the way. It's 30. So 1. There she is. Look at her. Wow. She is beautiful. And then I worked on from here down. That was a lot. Look at that flag. Wow. Wow. It looks really good on camera. Who knew? She's beautiful. Beautiful. So my goal was to have her done for July 4th. I don't even know if I'll get the stitching done for July 4th. Maybe if I don't work on anything else. I'm tempted to Consider the Lilies down until I get all the stitching done. We'll see. I go through phases. You can't, this is not a fast stitch because it's constant color changes. Like you'll have like, there's probably just right here 6 colors, and they're beautiful and they work perfectly together and it's wonderful, but it just takes forever. So we'll see. And then this little red is so that I know where to pick up. Where to pick up next time, because I like to work from the center out. I don't know why. On this, not on most things. Most things I start in the corner. So that is Lady of the Flag. Want to get her done. Gotta move it on. And then, let's see. I worked on, so I think I told you guys in my last video that I had ordered from the Shepherd's Bush, I hope, the one in the shop in Arkansas. I had ordered all the supplies to, the Shepherd's Needle. Shepherd. Oh, you guys can't see that. Doesn't matter. Shepherd's Needle, sorry. I had ordered all the supplies to do my first punch needle. And that Vanna of the Twisted Stitcher was going to do a YouTube live and teach us how to punch. And that, if you type in the YouTube, I'm sure you all watch her, but if you don't, you can type in the Twisted Stitcher and the tutorial come up. So I ordered all the supplies, which included a punch. This is a ultra punch, very sharp. And then it came with a couple threaders and a couple other size needles. And then while I was watching Vanna, she told us to, on our threader, to add a piece of paper and glue it so that you don't lose it. So that's the needle threader. And then I am using the called for DMC. Oh, sorry. I don't have enough. I went to Joann's. I bought one of each color. And then I used the entire skein of 310 that I had. Lickety split. So I don't have enough. I have to go buy. I'm just going to go get a whole nother skein of 310 of all of them. The pattern that Vanna picked is called American Roots by Threads That Bind. I am not the queen of punch needle. Mine looks terrible. It's fun. So I also got the punch needle hoop, the one that attaches so that you can punch in your lap. So this is the ugly side, which I think looks fine. But this is the punch needle side, and I have ripped it out twice. It looks awful. I'm so embarrassed. But I am going to finish. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to hope that maybe I get better, or maybe when you fill in, it'll look better. But this is most of a thing of 310. I did lose some when I ripped out the first time, like all of these. Like, Vanna punches and it's beautiful. Katie punches and it's not. I will also say it definitely hurt my hand. I could not do this for hours at a time. I do really like that you're just filling in. There's no counting because you're just filling in. She did have us write the colors that we were using on the fabric. I probably won't do that again because it kind of stressed me out to write on the fabric, but we'll see. We do have homework before the next class on Friday, so I have to finish filling in This Is a Crow, not that you can tell, and then I think the fence, and then I'm assuming the border, because that's in 310 also. I'm going to have to order a big old wheel of 310. Wow. So I probably should go back and rewatch the end, because she mentioned the homework, but I was too stressed out to know what she said. Oh, and that's the other thing I had to get. Well, I didn't have to get anything. The woman at the shepherd's bush had me buy these weird scissors. I guess they're so you can like get right into cutting because you're not supposed to have threads. So I am not the queen of punch needle, guys. I'm simply not. It was fun though. And like I said, I will continue trying. That's all we can do. Sorry, water. Very hot. You ready for some haul? I got a big haul today. So let's see what I have. Well, let's start with my Dubco frame came. So I was not influenced by anyone. I've wanted one of these for months and months and months and months. Years, actually. Oh, look, you can see me. So I did order one. I used my Biden bucks. I got the frame in blue. It's the shade of blue is stunning. I couldn't settle on a color. I have every shade of wood grain in my bedroom that exists because we like to call it Salvation Army chic. So I added another color, but I think it matches everything. It's beautiful. I love it. The table's gonna shake because the table is not tightened. It needs tightened. So here's the frame, and I have a project sitting on it. So I love this. So to cut thread, you just loosen this, and then you just and cut your thread, which is really easy. And then you can tighten it so it sits any way you want. So that's to loosen here. And then here, there's another, and you can loosen. And then I splurged because I was already buying the stand and from Russia. I got so you can buy an attachment. Sorry, you're shaking. And it attaches here, and then I need like one more hand. Hold, please. Ooh, ooh. So I was trying to figure out how to do this yesterday to attach the scroll frames to it, and I ended up losing. I've lost my directions, so I had to watch a tutorial on Flosstube. So anyway, this piece here, you take these knobs off and you attach it here, and then these legs attach like this, and your Q-snaps or your scroll frames sit. Somebody outside. Oh, good. Somebody's cutting the grass. That's great. So they sit like that. It's great. I'm looking forward to being able to sit at my desk here to bead. In particular, I think that's going to be a big help to me. So I got this, and then in true Katie fashion, I also got the frames themselves. So, whoops, let's not break them. So it's just a scroll frame like you've seen a million times. That'll be my YouTube picture. So they're a little different than the roll-off frames I have that have the like the nails on them. These have like a dowel, so you don't have to sew it on, which I love. It came with 3 sizes. This is the smallest. The biggest one I think might fit Lady of the Flag. We shall see. So that's my biggest piece of haul. My poor mailman. It came, so I ordered in March. They said it would take 7 or 8 weeks for it to ship. It shipped in 6 weeks, and then I got it 10 days later. It did sit in customs for like 5 days. I have a feeling that it sat in customs for that long for a few reasons, not the least of which is there's only so many flights coming from Russia to JFK right now, and they needed room on the plane. So it didn't take long. Once it got through customs in Russia onto a plane to the US, I got it within a day or two after that. My mailman brought it and rang the doorbell and handed it to my grandmother and was like, "This is from the Federation of Russia." And he like put it down for her on the steps. And I think everybody was a little concerned that we were getting like a bomb from Russia. I was like, "It's fine." But then of course the frame, like the stand, came Monday, and then the rest came Tuesday. So I got 2 packages from Russia, one of which looked like a bomb, like a missile, because it was in a round package. My poor mailman. God bless him. My grandmother's like, "What are you getting from Russia?" And I was like, "Whoa, everybody just needs to take a deep breath. It's okay. It's wood." She's so cute. Yesterday, I took Fra to buy flowers for the garden, which I will not be planting. She is a friend of mine who gardens. I don't garden. So I took her, and she had on these pants, and it was hot, and they were too tight. And she's like, "These are devil pants." Oh, I recommend living with an 85-year-old. It makes you laugh. All right, what else did I get? Well, even when patterns come digitally, like they do, most knitting patterns do, they mustn't travel alone. So I also bought, this is called White Pine. And this is by the same woman who I just showed you that I started her pattern. Her patterns are great. Many pages long. That's like a book, but that's fine. And then when I ordered from Shepherd's Bush, I went through their clearance charts. And this is Cooler Classic Charts, American Antique Sampler. And I have seen this a few times over the years, and I really liked it. I did make sure it is cross stitch. It's not like wool hooking or something. It's very pretty. It's very long. I don't know if I'll ever stitch this, but it was on clearance and I've always liked it, so I figured now was the time to get it. So I did. My fabric of the month from Brandy came. Bronze Age was the neutral this month. And Anemone, I don't know, was the crazy color. So this is 18 count Ada. I think I want to switch to 16, but we'll see. And then this is 36 count Lugana. I haven't decided. I'm like waffling between keeping going with my fabric of the month and stopping it. So I haven't decided yet. And then I was at Hobby Lobby and I got some patriotic fabric for finishing. And then Jen sent me a whole pile of new projects of hers to finish. Like, I'm not kidding. I have so much sewing to do, Jen. I have not forgotten. I will do it. She sent me a whole bunch of fabric to use for backing. And then I'm just going to keep it in my closet of finishing fabrics. God bless her. She has no chill. There's enough fabric here to make a quilt, make several quilts. So eggs are my favorite food, and I have a hashtag that I love called Put an Egg on It. And she sent me this fabric. And I have this pillow that I made, and I'm really tempted to take it apart and redo it, because look at that fabric. Put an egg on it. I love it so much. Also, she sent me back my favorite pillow that she had made that I finished for her, so now I get to keep it. Thank you. So that, I thought I'd be here for like 2 hours, but I didn't have a lot of stitching, so that's actually it, and that's all my haul. The Dubco stand is plenty big. Guys, I have to say, if I was one of those like professional floss tubers who had like an overhead camera and the whole setup, I was gonna say mashugana, but I'm always scared I say that wrong. The whole thing, I would do like a whole tutorial with it, but I don't. We're on my tablet. But if you are thinking about getting a table stand, I highly recommend. The workmanship is beautiful. I understand that people prefer the Patoki for travel because it folds up smaller, but this one folds up, I think it folds up pretty small. Hang on. So like, it folds up like that. So I mean, it's not teeny tiny, but it's pretty small. And this is how it came. It would be perfect if you were going to a retreat or something. I've been using it in bed, and it's too hot to sit in my bed right now. Sitting at my desk. I use it when I watch movies with Fra on the couch. Highly, highly, highly recommend the Dubco. I really like it. I also like the fact that you can very easily switch it from being a hoop stand to a Q-snap / scroll rod stand. It wasn't very expensive to do the switch at all. It wasn't bad. So yeah, I highly recommend. Anyway, I hope that you guys are staying cool. I am going to go for a walk at the mall where there's free air conditioning, and probably get myself a diet soda because you only live once. You can see how hot I am because my cheeks are getting quite red. So anyway, stay safe. It was so good catching up with you, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye bye.